guys, how's it going? I am, well, you know who I am, and this is Dan Boyer.
Hello.
Dan and I work together, and Dan works for Fountain Mortgage, and we got to talking back and forth and realized that we had a lot of things in common. One of them, which was we like beer. So I decided we would start talking a little bit and have basically a beer with Boyer. And I'm going to ask him to give me some guidance to help so I can give a better service to my clients. And in the meantime, we're going to shoot some videos about every week or so, and also we're going to review beers at the beginning of each video. Right now we are, what is this, the Goat Brewing Company?
The Goat Brewing Company.
You stopped by. Tell me about it.
Well, so it's pretty cool. It's a new, if you haven't been there, it's a new little brewery over on 291, right across from the REMAX office, actually. And they just opened up in March 2021, so only a few months old. The owner's name is Jeremy Nealand, super nice guy. And basically we went and talked and said, hey, let's watch one of your most popular beers. And so we're going over his Borgata Family 1 IPA. How's it smell?
Smells pretty good. Let's try this out.
It is good.
Hey!
So what Jeremy said basically, and I agree, is that this is a little lighter IPA than what you normally would see. A lot of the IPAs nowadays are getting super hoppy to the point where they're grapefruity and very overpowering. This one's a little smoother, a little less hoppy.
This is good.
It is good, isn't it? Yeah. So
I'm saying that like I'm surprised, but I really am surprised.
Yeah.
It's a 75 IBU, which IBU stands for International Brewery Union. I have no idea what it stands for, to be honest. Anyway, Dan, I have buyers that are anywhere from 1 month out, usually all the way up to 12 months or plus. But you and I kind of talked a couple days ago. At those stages, give me an idea of at 12, 6, and 3, what should buyers be looking forward to doing at those times?
Sure. So let's start 12 months out, because that's kind of the long-term buying progress. So 12 months out, what I would recommend is get with your lender and get with your realtor first, and then get with your lender. And let's start talking about, let's do some fact finding and some discovery. Because at this point, you're still a long ways away. We don't have to really get it completely buttoned up, but let's put a plan of action together. So we really want to sit down and we want to put together the story of what they're going to be doing for their home purchase and for the loan itself. So let's talk about down payment. Where's your down payment coming from? Do you have the money saved up? Is this something that's going to be a gift from a friend or a family member? Do you not have any money? And we need to figure that plan out. So, down payment is a big thing that we need to talk about. I think also we should talk about your employment situation, right? So, how long have you been working where you're at? Are you on a commission basis? Are you on an hourly basis? There's lots of different ways to get paid in this world, and some of them, quite honestly, are harder to get done on a loan than others. So that's what we need to figure out from there. And then if we need to, let's look at your credit. Some people will come in and say, "Hey, I know I've got some credit issues. What do I need to do to get it fixed?" And so if we're a year out, that gives us some time. Whether it's just some small things that can be fixed, or whether we need to refer somebody over to one of our credit repair partners that can actually do some more, intensive work on the credit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, that's what I would do a year out. And then lastly, let's put together a price range. So, you know, and the customer knows what to start looking for. Are we on a $200,000 home? Are we on a $300,000 home? So that's kind of where I would start on the year out.
How many months should you have been at your current job before ideally?
That's a good question, and it's one that can be a little difficult to answer. So if it's somebody that's hourly or salary, that 2 to 3 months, so they've got a little bit of a track record is fine.
Okay.
If it's a commission-based job, like you and I, then it's a little tougher. You're really going to need a couple of years.
Okay.
If you're not getting a W-2 income, if you're paid out, if you're paid purely on commission, then we're going to need to look at a little bit more track record.
What's the lowest or the baseline of where really you should have a credit score before you should?
So, anything that, Freddie and Fannie say anything below a 620 credit score is going to be in the subprime category.
Okay.
And that's where they're not going to buy the loans or back the loans.
Okay.
So realistically, anything below that's going to be pretty tough.
Okay.
620 and up, so you're going to start getting, that's where we need to discuss those different loan programs that we have. If you're a little lower credit score, we may be looking at an FHA program versus a conventional. If you're a little bit, if you're higher in the credit score range, that gives us a few more options out there. So 6 months out, if we've already talked after 12, maybe we just need to touch base and kind of find out where we're at in that process. But if you're coming to me and we're 6 months out, it's going to be a lot of the same stuff we talked about, at the year, but we may get a little bit more detailed. Maybe put a little bit more of a concrete plan together, and possibly even do a pre-approval at that point.
Okay.
You might be surprised. You find the house you love, and then you want to act, and you're not prepared. So the pre-approval gets us prepared, and that gives you the opportunity to start making offers. Right? I mean, it's almost impossible to make an offer on a house without a pre-approval.
Not right now. Yeah. So at the 3 month, the plan is, it's just kind of get the pre-approval.
Yeah. So when we get down to 3 months, then we're in that realistic target buying range. Okay. So now we definitely need to have a full pre-approval. We need to make sure that our plan is on progress and that we're able to get that pre-approval. Right. That's kind of the whole purpose of this, is to get everything lined up. Now we're in the buying zone. The other thing we really ought to think about too is doing a full underwriting pre-approval. I'm sure you're familiar with this, but it really, this can really help the buyer in the market. So what that means, for those of you that don't know what that is, we basically do a full pre-approval, full documentation, no different than if you were basically buying a home. You're under contract. We get all of your documentation in, and we send it through underwriting. So that basically they're saying this is a guaranteed approval, right? So then we can give an approval letter to a person that's selling their home and say, not only do we have a pre-approval, we've got a guaranteed pre-approval. It's almost the same as cash. And then the nice thing about that too is we can then close in about 10 to 15 days instead of 30 to 40 days, which is kind of that normal timeline.
So basically, that one, you've already done the due diligence, you've already pulled paperwork, you've already verified that the VOA,
all the W-2s, the bank statements,
everything. So it's not just you're done. You're just ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, basically from there, all we need to do is get an appraisal and a few more documents, and we're ready to go. And you're able to close pretty quick, and that gives you some more buying power in the market. That's the thing, when you can make an offer on a house and say, "Hey guys, I can close in 2 weeks." And I'm guaranteed, versus the other guy that comes in and says, I'm sort of approved.
Well,
but it may be 30 or 40 days.
I think even that, it's just not, closing in 2 weeks is, that's cool if you can pull it off. But if nothing else, part of I think what a lot of sellers have is they want peace of mind to know that they accept this offer. Is this guy gal, whatever, are they going to have the same, are they going to be done, ready to buy the house when the time comes? And this is a nice way of being able to say, look, we're good to go. Yep. It's just the only way to get through the inspections, appraisals, yada, yada, yada. But for the most part, this guy's already been pre-done, gal's been pre-done, and you're good to go. And you don't have to worry about some hidden surprise from underwriting later on. Do we have a PDF or something that we can put in the notes down below so they can click on it to kind of look for the benchmarks or checks to go through?
Yeah, put like a checklist on there.
Yeah.
We'll put it in we'll put a link to it in the notes or in the comments.
Well, brother, I think we kind of covered everything. I feel bad you haven't drank a bit of beer.
I've been talking, you've been drinking.
That's true. I've been drinking a lot.
But hey, guys, the Goat Brewing Company, thumbs up. They did a great job.
Yeah.
Great beer.
By the way, they did not sponsor this beer. We are saying nice things about them for just because it's good beer. So, to to you.
Cheers. Appreciate you.
Beer with Boyer.
Cheers to you.
See y'all in the next video. Take care.